see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Big match week of Premier League fixtures. One of which that we know Mohamed Salah will, at the very least, be included in the roster of Liverpool Football Club. That has been announced today, getting reported by the likes of Fabrizio Romano, many others. A big week of fixtures as well in the Premier League. Some really exciting games. Liverpool's game in particular against Brighton, I think, will be very entertaining. We're going to get to all of the games. Also, Sunderland and Newcastle. That should be a very entertaining game. All in all, just really exciting stuff. If we're being honest, couple games. It looks like just one game on Monday. United against Bournemouth. Well, very odd. I feel as though United have played several times on Mondays. I don't know if that's 100% the truth. Let me get my chat box up and over as well, just in case we get some good chats. Yeah, very excited for the fixtures this weekend. And obviously very excited for the fact that Mo Salah is back in the team for Liverpool Football Club. That's been the big story over the past week. Obviously, Salah got dropped midweek for Champions League. That sucked. No one loved that. I'm sure even the hierarchy and Arne Slot did not love that as well, but it was a decision that they made. I don't really even hate that decision. I'll be honest with you. What on earth is this? Wow. Sorry. I just saw something on Twitter completely non-football related. I'm going to go get myself a drink real quick. You'll have to pardon me. I was rushing to get the stream up and running and completely forgot to grab myself a Diet Sprite. Of course, Diet Sprite has no caffeine in it. And I don't need that right now because I'm a caffeine fiend, baby. And I don't need it. But yeah. The whole Salah situation, I think, I don't want to say it's been beaten to death because I think it was a huge story, and I think when it comes down to it, it was a story that I personally feel as though a lot of people could have differing opinions on it. I think people that have opinions all the way in one way or all the way in another way are wrong. Again, I don't think that Salah going to the media was right. I think that was, frankly, one of the worst things he could have done. It was, frankly, unprofessional. With that being said, the things that Salah said in the interview, did I necessarily disagree with them? I didn't. I agreed with a lot of them. I think Salah was getting treated kind of unfairly. And yeah, I at the end of the day, I don't necessarily disagree with the things he said. It was just the manner with which he went about the entire situation that I don't necessarily agree with. Him getting dropped midweek sucked. I do understand the decision. I don't want to say I support it because I obviously want to see Mo Salah in the Liverpool side all the time. But I would say that I understood it from a perspective of the manager and the hierarchy at the club can't let a player just basically run rampant and go to the media and talk however they want about the club. It's I don't think Slot's done a good job this season. I don't agree with his decision to have dropped Mo Salah for 3 games. With all of that being said, do I think that any manager in the Premier League deserves their players to basically publicly slate them in an interview? No. I do think Salah was kind of the scapegoat. I do full-fledged believe that. I just think that there's a manner with which you do things. I don't agree with the manner with which Salah did them. But with that being said, all of this nonsense, the Jamie Carragher interviews and stuff like that, talking about it, the people that are giving here, there, and everywhere their opinions on the fact that they think Salah should be out of the club, I think that's insane. Like, Mo Salah in no way, shape, or form should be sold this transfer window. I think the only reason, though, that mainly got brought up was the fact that Salah clearly had an issue with the manager, brought it up, and then also brought up the fact that the Brighton game could be his last game. Slot had an interview today going into the game. There were tons of questions about Salah, and he said that basically he just had to meet with Mo, and that's kind of just what he kept reiterating over and over and over to the media, was that I have to have a conversation with Mo before I can, like, people were asking, do you think Mo will remain at Liverpool? He's like, I got to talk to Mo about that. I don't think that there's any reason for, and I've said this in every video I've made covering the entire situation, I don't think there's any reason for the club to make a decision on Mo Salah or Arne Slot at this time, because if you sell Salah or you sack Arne, you're going to look bad in the public perspective regardless of either decision. You sack the manager, it's going to make Liverpool look like a dictatorship run by Mo Salah. If you sell Mo Salah, you're basically, in a lot of people's minds, going to be mistreating one of the best Liverpool players of all time, especially probably one of our best players in the past decade. So I don't think that the club should do anything right now. Everyone's talking like Liverpool have to do something. I don't think that that's necessary. I mean, I think they just sit tight. The fact that Salah is going to the African Cup of Nations, in my opinion, is probably one of the best things that could be going on for the club, because he's gone. He's going to the African Cup of Nations. He'll be out of the squad due to his international duties for a period of time. Slot then doesn't have to worry about a bunch of noise coming from Salah, and then he can take his time to figure the club out. Then, if he's unable to figure the club out and figure the team out, then I think it becomes a situation to where the hierarchy at Liverpool have to take a step back and say, well, you benched Mo Salah, nothing really changed. Salah left to go to AFCON, nothing really changed. It's definitely not Salah is the scapegoat then. So we'll have to. But the interesting thing is if Slot does turn Liverpool around and they start performing while Salah's at the African Cup of Nations, because then it really, in my opinion, it turns into a situation to where, okay, maybe Salah was the problem. I don't think he will be. I don't think he is. But if he leaves to go to the African Cup of Nations and then people start talking as if he is the issue if Liverpool turn their form around, which they very well could. Like, I don't think a draw against Leeds, I don't think that was a bad Liverpool. I've seen some shitty, bad, underwhelming, embarrassing performances from Liverpool this season. I don't think last week's performance against Leeds was like that. I don't really think our performance against Inter was like that. So really, at this point, I think it just comes down to if he can turn the team around, let Salah go to AFCON, get that headache completely out of the way, and then you make a determination. Everyone, also too, this is a big issue, a major issue, and a major annoying thing that I've noticed is all of these people that they keep coming out and talking about Liverpool being concerned about the valuation of Mo Salah if they were to transfer him. I don't think the club actually give a single solitary shit about the valuation of Mo Salah. I think that Liverpool, like if Salah leaves Liverpool, he's going to go to Saudi, right? And then if he goes to Saudi, Liverpool are going to get a huge transfer fee for him. I think that, believe it or not, that was a big reason why Salah, when we re-signed him last season, I think that was a big reason why he got signed to a 2-year deal. Is I think that Liverpool wanted him again for this season, but then if after this season they wanted to sell him in the summer, you're going to get probably, I don't know, like 70 million maybe, I would say, on the low end for a player who has 1 year left on his contract. And don't kid yourself, that would be the amount that Liverpool would get. Like, it would be shocking how much we get for Salah if he leaves this summer. So, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I think, Slot, I think I can, I might play the Slot interview. No, this isn't the tab I want to do this with. I might play the Slot interview just for us to watch. From this morning. Oh my gosh. That's an alarming thing to see on my... Okay. Oh, wrong thing there. Yeah, here we go.
The situation this weekend, will he be involved? If not, does that mean he's played his last game for Liverpool?
I will have a conversation with Mo this morning, and the outcome of that conversation determines how it will look tomorrow.
What do you need from him to resolve this situation then?
What I need is a conversation with him, and I think the next time I speak about Mo should be with him and not in here. But yeah, you can keep on trying, but there's not much more to say about it that I speak to him today, and like I said, the outcome of that conversation determines how things will look tomorrow.
Can I just ask though, is part of the issue asking him to do more defensively?
You can try it in multiple ways, but I think I just said that the next time I speak about him should be with him. We've spoken a lot in the last week after the Sunderland game. I think there have been a lot of conversations between his representatives and our representatives and him, between him and me, after the Sunderland game. And today I will speak to him again.
Have you had an apology though, or do you need an apology? Not be the last one.
Normally I would say you've had your 3 questions. I think this is the 4th or the 5th, but same answer again.
Covers.
So yeah, it largely is Slot basically I don't want to say avoiding the question of Mo Salah, because I think he definitely is. I want to say what he's doing in this interview is he's basically just delaying any take that he has to have on Salah, any update that he has to have on Salah, and I don't necessarily disagree with it. I understand it. Like, he really, unfortunately, I disagree with the way Salah. Like I said, I disagree with the way Salah was treated, but I do think that Salah's reaction to the situation was wrong, and I think you can't. How do I put this? You can't help anyone's actions. You can only help your reaction. Boom. Just lace that.
Oh,
Just throw one more in there. It's back to the game though, but you are unbeaten in 4 now as well. So I'm just wondering what platform you've given yourselves to build on that.
I think apart from being unbeaten, I think we've shown that have been a team in the last 4 games that were indeed difficult to beat. That was difficult to create chances against us. Team worked really hard, put a lot of effort in. Have been again a bit unlucky in the results, but showed great resilience. 4 games in 10 days with not a lot of players available is I think a compliment to the players that were available. How they managed to get, first of all, some results, and second of all, the work rate they've put in.
Hello again. Over those last 4 games as well, 6 pretty much coincided with Alisson's return into the team. How much of an impact has that had on everything?
It's every time a player is available again, let alone a player that is so good as he is. That's helpful, but I think Georgie did a great job as well when he wasn't there. I don't think Georgie or Alisson have had a lot to do in general in games because we hardly concede a chance. In most games that we've played, not all of them, but I think 90% of the games, I think we've hardly conceded a chance. So yeah, it's always helpful when a player of his quality is back, but I want to emphasize on the fact that Georgie did a good job as well. But it's nice to have him back. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about team news as well?
Yes, of course.
Injury-wise, how's everybody looking? Any?
All right, yeah. So that's mainly. I mean, he does. If we're being honest, he doesn't say too much about Salah. I think the big thing is just the fact that he really even spoke about Salah in any way, shape, or form that was more newsworthy. But yeah, no. Basically, his entire take about the situation is just. Listen, I have to have a conversation with Mo, and the results of that conversation will basically be how the team proceeds. I'm not happy with Arne Slot this season. I think he hasn't performed as manager good enough, but a big issue that I have with Slot, to be honest with you, is the fact that this is his first season with his team. Last season he won the Premier League with Klopp's team. And I don't want to downplay. I think that a lot of people have used, the fact that Slot won with Klopp's team as an opportunity to kind of slate Slot. So that's like an alliteration. But a lot of people have used it as a way to downplay his accomplishments of last season. I think it's actually probably more difficult to win a Premier League with someone else's team versus your own team that you cultivate. However, you won the Premier League. Liverpool, in the summer transfer window, were arguably one of the most attractive teams for potential players in world football. And ultimately, the reality of the situation is Slot went out, spent hundreds of millions of pounds on players that he wanted, and the team has gotten worse comparatively to last season. and a big part of that, in my personal opinion, is the goal threat. I don't think we're that threatening going forward as we were last season. And look, I also don't want. I also want to say that these players. It's not only the players that were brought in; it's the players that left. We lost Luis Diaz, and at the time, I'll admittedly say, I thought that was good business from Liverpool when we sold Diaz. I thought, as a player's getting into his late 20s, very good servant for the club, but I also felt as though he wasn't that as clinical in front of the goal as I would have liked him to have been. But how wrong myself and others could have been, like, Luis Diaz is one of the best players in world football currently, and you can't tell me that he would not just slot right back into this Liverpool team if he hypothetically was still on the team. So that's my issue with Salah is I don't think he's done a great job with cultivating his own team. I don't love the fact that Salah has come out in the media, but I think he has not treated one of the most tenured Liverpool players currently on the roster and one of the best in the past 10 years. I don't think he's treated him well. I think it's rather unfair, but what are you going to do? I don't think he could have predicted Salah's outburst like that. I don't. I really honestly don't. There's only so much you could do. Only so much you could predict, too. Honestly and truthfully, there's only so much you could predict. All right, let's get into the predictions for this weekend's games. Oh, no, that's the Premier League table. I need the Premier League matches this week. All right. Let's start off with Chelsea-Everton. Where is this game? Is it being held at Goodison or it's at Stamford Bridge? Okay, so I'm going to say Chelsea 2, Everton 1. Let's get the full matches up here. Liverpool-Brighton. Again, I'm going to say Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. Fulham-Burnley. I'm going to say 1-1 draw. Arsenal against Wolves, 5-0. Palace against Man City, 3-2. 3-2 Man City win. Sunderland, Newcastle, 3-3 draw. Forest, Tottenham. Tottenham are going to win that 2-0. West Ham, Villa. I'm going to say Villa 2-0. Brentford, Leeds. 2-1 Leeds. And then wrapping up the weekend with United, Bournemouth. 2-2 draw. I just speed ran those predictions too. There's not a chance in hell I remember any of those. I'm going to have to watch this video back and tell you what exactly my predictions are because I just speed ran the hell out of those. Yeah. Yeah, I think when it comes to Salah and Slot, again, no need for the club to do anything at this point. The only thing that both Arne Slot and Mo Salah should be focused on. Mo Salah should be focused on the African Cup of Nations because that is going to be what's in his immediate sights. Liverpool Football Club shouldn't even be his top concern. You're going to play for your country momentarily, you know? Arne Slot should be focused on improving Liverpool. That's why this is almost so annoying to me, is that it's like Salah's not even going to be with, with the team for an extended period of time. He's going to be off with his country in the African Cup of Nations, focusing on that. So why on earth are we all and I get why we are. Don't get me wrong. I completely and utterly understand why Liverpool or fans in general are so focused on this entire situation. But realistically, we got both of these parties have bigger fish to fry. Salah has to be concerned with his country. Slot has to be concerned with turning this Liverpool team around because we are shite. Absolutely terrible we are. One of the worst Liverpool teams I've seen in quite some time. No bullshit. No bullshit. Absolutely terrible. Embarrassing. Awful. And it's not just like, the thing is like, there's been a lot of talk about Salah's the scapegoat for Slot and Liverpool. To a certain extent, I agree, but he's not the only one who's been underperforming for this team this season. Let's not forget how bad Ibu Konate's been. Kirkez. I think everyone's pointing to Alexander Isak as one of the worst flops. For me with Isak, I look at him and I'm like, he very clearly is not. He's struggling to get involved in the game, but when Isak does get involved in the game, he's not bad, Kirkez for me is concerning because when I see Milos Kirkez play, I go, oh shit, he looks awful. No bullshit, like legitimately looks awful, and I think that like I hope that I don't want to shit on the kid too much because I really do I do want him to get better, but my gosh, he's been terrible. He's been horrendous. But what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do about the entire situation? Man, the live streams have been dead things. I want to know why on earth, dude. I used to go and the thing is, this is not uncommon if I don't go live that often, but I've gone live. This is my third time this week, my fourth time in the month of December, and it's just dead. It's crazy. It's mental. Customization, analytics. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I wonder if it's because very wild. Man, oh man. Let's stay live for a bit though. Hopefully we get some more and more. It's telling me 0 right now. That's fucking insane. Oh, look at this. Gerard breaks silence on this. Hold on now. I have not seen this. Was it dragged it all the way to the end? I have not seen this. This is supposedly Steven Gerrard talking about the Mo Salah.
This needs Virgil van Dijk to go. How are we sorting this out for the benefit of not even so much the club or the team, it's the fans?
His legacy's been scarred.
Of course it has.
Scarred a lot.
Of course it has. And I know he knew what he was doing, but I'm not sure he was aware of the repercussions.
The reaction was never going to help anybody.
Welcome to the breakdown, and we're going to take a deep dive into the Mo Salah situation, the Liverpool situation. With me are two Liverpool club legends, Steven Gerrard and Steve McManaman, and an overall legend in Ali McCoy. That's the way we drew it.
Thank you very much.
That's the way we drew it.
As it should be.
Now, we've not got ages to do this, so we're going to dive straight into it. Stephen, I'm going to come straight to you.
Thanks.
A few weeks ago, you said that Liverpool weren't in crisis. Are they in crisis now?
I think they're closer to it. I don't like using the word. But the only thing I can think is it worse in terms of the conversations with him and Arnie? Is it worse, the conversations with him and Richard and the Bulls and blah, blah? Is it a lot worse than what we know and what we've seen? I've seen this and I've lived it. I lived it with Suarez when he fell out with Brendan, face to face. I've seen it all and tried to mediate that because that wasn't good for anyone. This is not good for anyone.
For anybody, yeah.
And I've been there myself from a personal point of view. I done mine in a different way where I had major head loss, dropped against United, been round to Brendan's house for a meal. Brendan buttered me up. Oh, you've been great in training and, you know, you'll be part of my staff, blah, blah, blah. I done the Salah statement in 30 seconds against United and got sent off.
Yeah.
So no one's perfect. We've all had head loss as players. We've all done emotional things where we think, oh, and I know in time when this all calms, Mo will go, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I maybe shouldn't have said that. And I was a bit emotional, I was a bit hasty and blah, blah, blah. But the end of the day is, Liverpool Football Club need Mo Salah back playing well, back scoring goals, because he is the best player, the best scorer, and he will help them get out of this crisis questions, in my opinion. So who's gaining from all of this?
Well, I was going to say that.
So my opinion is, if this goes on, this is bigger than what we all know and what we see.
Who changes that? Because you've said that as
All I have to say about this, there is a clear difference in the manner with which Steven Gerrard is talking about this situation versus Jamie Carragher. Clear difference. Very, very clear difference. Not disrespectful. Not questioning Mohamed Salah's integrity. And he's even saying that he thinks Salah's wrong. I'm sure Salah will come out and be like, I shouldn't have done that. He's clearly saying Salah's wrong. The difference is he's not challenging Salah's integrity and his character.
Well, there needs to be a coming together.
Right, so with the Suarez situation, you said you mediated.
Yeah, because I just thought, well, Luis Suarez saying what our reserves is not helping Steven Gerrard. It's not helping the owners. It's not helping the fans. The main people here are the fans, yeah. And a lot of fans are upset with what he said. Like everyone. He's a couple of lines within the whole thing. I think I respect a lot of things that he doesn't like being a sub.
Yeah, so do I, actually.
Because if he was actually going, I'm all right on the bench here, blah, blah, I'm thinking he's just taking his money, he's not happy, and he's a blah, blah, blah. He's obviously really upset he's not playing, which I respect. He wants to help the team, I respect. A couple of lines about throwing people on the bus, wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
He needs to reverse a little bit away from that. He needs to deal with that with the manager. This needs Virgil van Dijk to go, how are we sorting this out for the benefit of not even so much the club or the team, it's the fans.
I think we agree that the 3 games he was out, arguably we thought he should have played, certainly in one of them.
He definitely should have come on against Leeds.
Yes. The reaction was never going to help anybody. I don't know whether he was ill-advised. His comments after the game was certainly misjudged. I have no idea why he came out at this particular time, 7 days before he's going to AFCON.
I don't think it was naive. I actually think it was premeditated as well, because I think he knows what he's doing. He's a very, very clever man, doesn't give a lot of interviews, so he knows what he's doing. The first thing that has to happen, whether it's the captain and the manager and Mo Salah, have to get together. Because the only people that need to benefit are the team. It's not about anything else. It's not about Arne Slot. It's not about Virgil van Dijk. It's not about Mo Salah. It's about the team.
A Liverpool's stronger if there's common ground here.
Yeah.
Correct.
And Mo goes, look, I shouldn't have said that.
Correct.
I shouldn't have said that, but I had to get my point off. I was
100%.
emotional.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm human. How can you find the quickest solution that benefits the club and the fans?
I can totally understand I've not been in the squad, because I think sometimes there maybe has to be a cooling off period.
Yeah,
I think the manager might have to cool off. Mo has to cool off, right? You're not coming.
And for the couple of one-liners within the statement, he probably deserves to learn his lesson.
Some degree of punishment.
Learn his lesson.
Yeah.
As a neutral, based on the fact you've not really got a horse in the race, what did you think about what he said? Did you like the fact that he did it?
No to both. I didn't like what he said, and I didn't like the fact he said it. I understand where he's coming from. I just think it was so wrong. I think the most important...
All right. Yeah. No disrespect to this guy. I obviously was just more concerned with what really Steven Gerrard had to say, because I had not seen anything indicating that Gerrard had covered the matter yet. Yeah, I actually really agree with what Gerrard had to say. I think that there's a clear difference from Steven Gerrard talking about this and the manner with which he talked about it, and Jamie Carragher. You know, I've talked about it. I think a big issue that I have with the Carragher interview is that he could have got his point across in a better way without just using it as an opportunity to just shit on Mo Salah. He didn't, obviously. And my whole thing with Jamie Carragher, right, is that there's no coming back with you know, the any relationship or any sort of unbiased take with Mo Salah. Jamie Carragher has made it abundantly clear he don't like Mo Salah. And he basically questioned his integrity and his character. I think if Carragher wanted to disagree with what Salah said, if Carragher wanted to come out and basically, you know, disavow the things that Salah did, the fact that he even did an interview, I don't think there's any problem with doing that. I think the problem is that you came out literally, and you know what it is? The problem that I have with Kara is that Kara is a former player and a pundit, right? You're not a content creator, right? You're not You should be a step up from that, a pedigree above that a little bit. And I don't mean that in like a Slayton way. I make content on football, but you see people all the time that make football related content. They put out the catchy title, the clickbait thumbnail, the things of that nature. What does Jamie Carragher do as soon as the interview starts with him? Says that, and he's calculated here. He says the interview from Salah was a disgrace. Doesn't call Salah a disgrace, but there's I guess a fine line, or between basically saying, oh, Salah's a disgrace and the interview's a disgrace. For me, I think that calling his action a disgrace and then going on for a couple of minutes to basically talk about the character of Mo Salah, I think it's damn near one and the same as far as I'm concerned. That's my issue with the Cara interview. And you know what, too? It was set up for him. He had this is my opportunity to give my opinion on the Mo Salah thing. Everyone wants to know what I have to say about the Salah thing because I've been so critical of the player in the past. And he took his opportunity and just slammed the guy. Called him a disgrace. Brought up things that, in my opinion, didn't even need to get brought up. The likes of the fact that he's never won an African Cup of Nations. The fact that Salah failed. You were the guy that failed at Chelsea. Cara, you're the guy who scored more own goals than goals. And look, both of you are professional athletes who played for Liverpool Football Club. A pedigree that's unbelievable. But to basically, you can't highlight the fact that he hasn't won trophies and hasn't been successful at Liverpool because he has. So basically, you talk about prior to that how he was unsuccessful at Chelsea. Mind you, you talk about how Mo Salah was the guy who failed at Chelsea. Kevin De Bruyne was too. So, I think it's fair to say there's been a number of players that have come through, especially that generation at Chelsea, that it didn't pan out for them at Chelsea, but yet later in their career we see them basically become one of the best players in world football. Happened with Salah, obviously I mentioned with De Bruyne. There's been several players that have been... who's this? We got Osman Ibrahim. I'm sorry, brother. It's very hard for me to read that. I think it's Osman said, hello. What's going on, Osman? Thank you for joining, brother. 5 people watching. What a random trash. What the fuck was that for? Piss off, then. Fuck is your problem? I think you have to stop streaming or YouTube. I'm all set. Thanks, though. Actually, I'm glad that you did this, though, because now I can organize my chat box. I appreciate it. I am not your brother. You're a psychopath is what you are. What type of cap is that? It's a New York Knicks hat, you fucking moron. Can you not read? Are you unable to read? It says New York Knicks on it, you stupid fuck. Reading must not be your specialty. Oh, 5 people watching. What a random. Look, let me tell you good news. Bro, you can't even type correctly. You can come on here and you can talk as much shit with me as you want, but you barely can even generate a sentence. You're an embarrassment. Moron. Jeez. Anyway, yeah, no, I think the Carragher interview was basically just an excuse for him to come out, give his thoughts on the entire matter, basically talk as much shit as he possibly could. And yeah, I mean, it was successful. The interview went viral, so you know, like it is what it is. You know, you can't really you honestly and truthfully can't even say anything about, because he got what he wanted. But my whole thing with the your mom, you dude, you can't even type correctly. This guy can't even type correctly. I wish I could click on your profile. I can't though. Oh, here we go. No, because I can't. No, let me try to do this. My computer is acting up all sorts of way. Oh, shit. Not even on the right account right now. You guys said, "Oh, you want to cry, baby? I know you are bad." No, not even remotely. I don't know if this guy thinks I give a single solitary shit about him commented on my channel, but I certainly don't. If anything, I don't know if you know how YouTube works, but I actually was getting no chats before you joined my live, and all you've done is just fill up my my chat, and more people have joined the live because you're actually giving me engagement, so I appreciate it. So definitely thank you for that. Appreciate it. There we go. Osman Ibrahimzadeh. Where are you from? I'm like looking at your account right now. Got 2 subscribers. Good for you, man. All you've done is getting 1 like, and when I entered, there was 1 like, and still there is 1 like. Yeah. I'm aware of this, bud. Cool. So, yeah, got it so that this guy, if he comments, it's only going to be visible to him now. I think that that's a pretty sad way to go about life. Just joining someone's live that's just random. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're only getting 1 like and a couple viewers." Buddy, I did not claim to be doing well. I did not claim that I'm a very successful streamer or a very successful YouTuber. I don't know where you get off thinking that, that's the case. Let me see. I just want to make sure. Nice. It looks like his chats aren't popping up anymore. I'm going to block this moron as well. It just joins and just attacks me. What on earth? What a psychopath. Looks like he's already blocked. Nice. That is one of the more outrageous things I've ever seen before in my life. You know what though? He probably had. It's been one of the more idiotic things for him to do, because in him doing this, I've basically wanted to. Basically wanted to get to about an hour worth of streaming, and all this guy did was effectively just give me a chance to stream for a lot longer. So it's fantastic. It's honestly exactly what I needed. I also gained a subscriber from this stream. I'm fairly certain. Unless it was him, because I definitely just blocked his ass. So no, I would have lost the. That is unbelievable. Absolutely insane. The worst part about it, too, was I couldn't, on the back end of YouTube, I could not, at that time, I could not, the chat log was down on the side, so I couldn't stop him. Let's see if I can find this guy. No, I don't really see anything. That was something else. Definitely knocked me off my damn pivot. But yeah, I think ultimately when it comes down to the entire Salah situation, I think look, shouldn't have went to the media. I don't disagree at all with the stuff that he said. I disagree with the manner with which he said it, going on an interview and not handling those things behind closed doors. But also on the flip side of things, oh, my cat's here. I do think that I don't want to necessarily say Salah was being made to be the scapegoat, but I do think that Salah was definitely being treated unfairly, going from playing 90 minutes of football week in and week out to then effectively just being dropped to the bench 3 games in a row. I think that is crazy work, to say the least. But yeah, I think it is what it is. The interesting aspect will be if Salah gets any game time or anything like that this coming weekend. I don't expect that he would. If he does, I think it will be pretty minimal, rather. So we'll see. I think if we if we if we do see Salah play, I think it will only be a few minutes at most. But yeah, I think I think that's about it. That just sucks, dude. Like, who? I can't believe that guy just like joined in, just like started like going at me for no apparent reason. It's like he's like you only have like a couple people watching your stream. It's like, close the stream, bro. 3 people for what? It's like, yeah, dude. I obviously am not a big streamer. Or a big YouTuber at all. Never claimed to be, by the way. Like, everyone starts somewhere. Like, I don't fucking know what that's all about. James Life said, "I'm here, bro. Just keep doing what you're doing." Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, people are just assholes, dude. It just is what it is, man. Like, what are you gonna do? I think it would be like, it would suck if it was like, I'm trying to, like really, like, I have like a bunch of people and shit like that. Did you see what Merson said about Salah yesterday? I didn't. What'd he say? Oh, he said he's on Mo's side. I did see this. Yeah, I did see him come out and say that. That's good, man. I think a lot more people need to come out and kind of like I said, I don't think that Salah should have went out into the media or anything like that. I think just merely doing that is it was kind of foolish. I think it probably should have been handled behind closed doors. But what he said, I think I agree with it. And I did see this interview from Paul Merson. And I do think I think saying that he's been thrown under the bus, I don't want to say, I think that he got dropped for 3 games, right? Had he gotten dropped in James said, I think if they were going to throw someone under the bus, it should be Kanate. Yeah, I mean, like, and with that, like, I do agree. Kanate, for me, has been a lot worse this season than Salah has. But I think that when it comes down to it, like, I don't think anyone, like, the whole team hasn't been great. It's not just been one or two individuals. Like, collectively, Liverpool just have not been playing well. So I think that is I think that's a big part of it too. You know, I don't want to see anyone necessarily thrown under the bus. I think what bothers me, to be honest with you, is the idea of being thrown under the bus versus getting justified criticism. So, for instance, like with Salah has been playing himself so far this season, and I think that there's been some criticism put towards him, and I think that that's justified. You know, if you're not playing at your best, you're not helping the team, I do think that you should be criticized. Same thing with Kanate. We've seen what Kanate can do in previous seasons, and he's been poor this season. And I think it's fair for Kanate to get criticized for that. Now, the idea of someone getting thrown under the bus, I think that is similar to kind of what's happened with Salah. Because don't kid yourself, right? Salah got dropped for 3 games straight. Had Liverpool won against Sunderland and then West Ham and Leeds, had we won all 3 of those games, I 110% believe that the media would have been like, see, all Slot had to do was drop Salah to the bench and then they're getting results. So I don't think he's been thrown under the bus, but I do think that had things gone differently, the reaction to Salah would have been completely different. So, you know. I think that there's a big difference between throwing someone under the bus and giving them the criticism that they deserve, you know, or justified criticism, and not going over the top. That's the thing is, like with the Carragher interview, I think that he went past what was needed. I think, you know, basically, he went far beyond what, like, I think would have been justified and warranted. I think it was a little bit too much of like questioning the character of Mo Salah and not really like, you know, just criticizing him for the interview. And again, like you said, James, I do think that there are bigger issues that Liverpool have than just Mohamed Salah. I think even like we're talking about Kanate, I think Kirkez too hasn't been performing, and we spent a lot of money on him. So James said, okay, if you're Slot, do you start Salah tomorrow? Injuries considered. I almost think it would like... So my knee-jerk reaction is, no, you don't start him because, you know... like the things that he said, and you have to be strong as the manager and make a stand and stuff like that. But like if he was to start Salah tomorrow, right, and then after, like, let's say Salah played well, or even if he didn't, and after the game people are to question him and be like, so you started Mo Salah, then he realistically could be like, yes, I started Mo Salah. The only reason I didn't start Mo Salah was due to formation changes, which was what Slot has been saying the whole time. You know, he's basically been like, listen, I didn't start Salah for purposes of the team, and you know, if he was to start him tomorrow, I do think that he could then be like, well, I started Salah because you know, that it was best for the team. I don't think he starts him though. I don't think he starts him. I don't think he does. I think he probably comes off the bench. We'll have to see, though. That would be so interesting if he starts him. Because I don't think, like, starting him would be necessarily, like, slating him, I don't think necessarily starting him would make him look bad in terms of the fact that he's like bending the knee to Salah. I think he's made it abundantly clear that he runs the club, not Mo Salah. I think that came with the fact that he left him for the Inter game. James said, I think it's a win for Slot if he starts him. If he plays bad, then the pressure is on Salah, not Slot. If he plays well and scores, then Slot looks good, and they can bury the issue. Yeah, I don't know that. Like, the issue that I have with the whole thing is like the whole. And James, I'm not one that thinks Salah is going to be sold, but that's been like a growing narrative is that Salah is going to be sold. And I've read that Liverpool as a club, whether it be Slot, the hierarchy at the club, everyone in general has basically been like, we do not want the game against Brighton to basically turn into the Salah goodbye fest, which is understandable because Salah has basically already came out and said that like that's what he's going to try to make it. But again, yeah, I think it would be a win-win for like if he starts him. Like it would be very interesting because it's like if Slot starts him, Salah cannot play poorly. Because if he plays poorly, he's going to look like a moron in the media because all he's done is just complain. And then once he gets a start, he doesn't play well. Yeah, I think that would make him look really, really bad. I definitely think that would make him look pretty crazy. Because like, if you're gonna bitch and moan about not starting, if you're given an opportunity to start, you definitely have to take advantage of it. Definitely. So, and like you said, I don't think it would be even like considered whatsoever, James, if it wasn't for the fact that Chiesa's injured. I believe Gakpo's injured. So we have several injuries. All right, guys. I think I'm definitely it's past now, a little bit past an hour now. I think I'm definitely probably gonna call it a night. Anyone watching, I hope you guys have a great night and a great weekend. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell as well. I just want to say thank you so much for any support to the channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so any support, I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Up the Reds, probably be putting out a video this weekend, hopefully streaming as well. So, make sure you're on the lookout for that. Hope you guys have a great night. Thanks. Bye.